Ollie, Ollie, can you come? Can you come to our house? There's a monster. The voice on the phone sounded worried, saying a worrying thing. I said, okay, let's stay calm. What's your name? My name's Judith. I said, okay, Judith. And there's a monster. Yes, some horrible stomping beast. Okay. And so you've seen a monster in your house. I said, well, we haven't seen it. We've heard it. Whatever it is, it's large, and I don't understand it. It stomps one stomp at a time. Sometimes several in a row, sometimes just one. I don't know. I said, okay. All right, well, I can come help. This sounds like an emergency. Tell me where you are, and I can head straight there. I do want to check. You've seen my rate card, though. I said, yes, no, that's all fine. Yes, we want the best. So they gave Ollie the address. Judith gave Ollie the address. And, he got a taxi or whatever out there. It was a big old house, kind of over by Leakin Park. A beautiful house. Needed a little work. It kind of looked like a haunted house, but if you, did some painting and cleaned up the vines, it would just look like a beautiful old Victorian house. I knocked on the door. And a young woman opened the door. And behind her there were two kids. She said, "Oh, thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad it's you. I thought the stomping monster had moved to the outside for a second, but it was just you knocking. It's okay. It's okay, kids. It's just." And then there was a loud thud, and everyone jumped. Oh, that's it. That's the stomping. I said, okay. And how long has this been going on? It's been just this morning. Well, most of the day now. I guess it's like noon now. It woke me up. It was right above my bedroom. I didn't know what it was. I heard this just stomp. And I woke up like a shot. I think I probably screamed too. There were two kids, a daughter and a son. Well, like they were, 7-ish, 9-ish, somewhere in there. The son said, "Yeah, Mommy, you screamed. That's what woke us up." Well, I said, "Okay." And then you heard more stomping. I said, "Well, yeah, the next time we heard the stomp was over in the kids' room. The house, we inherited the house, and we haven't fixed it all up yet. So we have, my bedroom and the bathroom attached to my bedroom, and the kids, we have one bedroom fixed up for them and a bathroom. And there are 3 more bedrooms, but they're all still torn up. And it's a work in progress. We have the money to take care of it, but now there's this. Oh, we've only been in here for about 3 weeks. We've been moved in for 3 weeks." I said, "Okay. And this is the first time you've heard of the stomping monster?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, it's kind of a relief to hear somebody else say it. I thought I was going crazy." And then they heard this thud. I said, "Oh, that was it again." I said, "Yeah. It sounds like it's not on this floor, though." I said, "No, we only hear it upstairs. We hear it from down here. But it seems to be upstairs. It seems to be in the attic." I said, "Oh, in the attic?" I said, "Yeah. It could be down in the middle floor if it was, the floor with the bedrooms. But then it would have to be invisible." I said, "Oh, okay. That's always a possibility with this kind of thing. Because, crazy monsters and stuff, they don't follow the normal rules of what we expect. But probably it's a visible monster in the attic. Sounds a little more realistic." Now, Ollie was thinking it probably wasn't going to be a monster, because it usually isn't. Usually there's some naturalistic explanation. But he thought it was best to humor them and work with them than to, make them think that he was doubting them, even if he was. He wanted them to be on the same side as he was, even as they figured it out together. But they heard another thud, and I thought, well, that is mysterious. That is kind of creepy. And then as they were just sitting there listening. 4 thuds in rapid succession. Thump, 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 thump. Seemed to be moving across. So we should get upstairs so I can listen. Is it active? Has it been active the whole morning, or does it come in kind of fits and spurts? It's fits and spurts. It'll be quiet for an hour, and then all of a sudden we'll hear several, like a lot of thuds, and then it'll be quiet again for a while. I don't quite. I don't know what it is, so I have no idea what it might be doing. Hopefully it's not trying to escape. Oh, jeez. Why did I say that? Now I'm scared. I said, it's okay. It's okay. I think if it probably wanted to get out, it could have already. How do you get into the attic? It's got one of those pull-down staircases. Here, I'll show you. And they walk down the hall, and in between 2 of the bedrooms that weren't fixed up yet, there was a string hanging down from the ceiling, and there was a panel door in the ceiling. So if you, but don't do it right now, but if you pull that down, the door comes down, and there's some stairs that fold out. It's pretty dusty up there. That's a later term project for sure. I said, okay, we may have to go up there, or, I may have to go up there, but we can hold off on that until we have a little bit more information. So, what's the heating and cooling system in the house? It has it's a really old forced air, oil burner for heat, powering hot water radiators. And the air conditioner, there's just window units. They're not installed right now. I said, and is the heat on right now? I said, yeah, I've had it on. I'll probably turn it off soon because it's getting warm, but it's still on. And with a radiator system, if it's in decent repair, it won't keep going unless it gets cold. Put your legs down, please. All the way in bed, not hanging off the side. They listened, and there were several more thuds. Thump, 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 thump. It occurred to Ollie that it was loud, but it wasn't like crazy loud. It wasn't like giant monster loud. It sounded about the same weight, maybe even less, if Ollie thought about it, than like a person, like a regular sized person stomping upstairs. Heavier than if they were just walking, but then again, there was just one. Like, it wasn't footsteps. It wasn't like thump, 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 like the person walking around up there. It was one or a series of thuds, but not a walking pattern. I listened very carefully. He could also hear, sometimes, kind of a little, like a scritching noise. But only when it was totally quiet otherwise. So I listened very carefully. He wanted to see, he got a broomstick. And he listened, and he waited for the thuds. And he heard some. Luckily, they were actually right in the hallway. There was a thump, thump, thump. The last thump sounded like it was maybe 20 feet ahead of him in the hallway. So he went over to where the last thump was. And he rapped on the ceiling with the broom. Then there was a skittering. And 2 more big thump thumps. All the way over to the other side. Over one of the bedrooms. It was a little bit hard to tell. It's kind of what it sounded like. It's not like you could see. But it sounded like the thumps were going away from where Ollie had banged on the ceiling. So Ollie went kind of over into that bedroom. And he tried it again. Banged on the ceiling. And again, thump, 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 thump. Away. So I thought about it. And he thought about it. He said, all right. Are there lights up there? I said, yeah, kind of. There's some bulbs on just a pole chain. I don't, unfortunately, have a way to turn on the light from down here. That's okay. I brought some flashlights, including a headlamp. I think that's what I'm going to want here. Well, actually, I've got a special light. He got this object out, and it looked sort of like a playground ball, kind of. But on one side, there was a lens. It's a special light that I picked up for this kind of situation. You see, it always points up. I can just toss it, and it'll roll, and the bottom is weighted, so it'll come to a rest, and it'll just shine. And the lens will spread the light out all around the room. So here's my plan. And you can figure out where you want to be for this plan. We're going to open up the door to the ceiling, the door to the attic. I'm going to toss this ball up there so that I have some light to work with. If nothing comes rushing down the stairs at us, then I'll pull down the ladder and I'll go up and take a look. I think, however, that y'all should maybe... I'm really fast, and I can climb all sorts of crazy places, and I've dealt with monsters before, but I don't think that should be on you all to potentially battle a monster with me. And Judith said, "Oh, I agree completely. I don't want to battle a monster. That's why I called you. That's why I'm hiring you." I said, yeah, fair. What if the kids go outside and wait on the porch? Judith, would you feel comfortable pulling down the string and then going outside yourself? Honestly, no. Can you do all of that? I said, I can. It'll be a little bit slower, but it'll be safer for you, so that's fine. Here's what I'm going to do. And he had like a webcam. And he put it, there's like a picture hook opposite on the wall. I put up the webcam. He said, okay, here. If you go to this website, it'll show you the video being captured on this webcam, so you can see everything that's happening. Well, a decent amount anyway. Everything that's happening down here. And then, yeah, I think I'm ready. So if you want to go out into the porch, we'll do this thing. She said, okay, good luck. Be careful, Ollie. I said, I'll be careful. So they went out on the porch. Ollie got his flashlight ball ready, and his regular flashlight, like a headlamp, one of the ones that straps on your head. And when he heard the door click shut downstairs, the family was outside, he pulled down the string. And that came pretty smoothly. And he waited behind it. Nothing came rushing out. So he tossed his flashlight ball up there, turned it on first. He heard it thump, thump, but he couldn't tell which direction it was going. Still nothing rushing down the stairs. So he pulled the ladder down, all the way down. Turned on his headlamp. He went upstairs, went up halfway up, and he said, hey, I'm coming up. I don't mean you any harm. My name's Ollie. I've dealt with all kinds of different creatures before. I'm sure we can figure out what's going on. And totally peaceful here. There was no response. So he went up the ladder the rest of the way. He looked around as quickly as he could, trying to look for some sort of, one-legged monster or something. But he looked, he didn't see anything. It just looked like an attic. It's mostly empty. There were a few boxes, a chair, a lamp, a couple of fans, but no monster. I looked and said, hello? It's okay, you can come out. Still nothing. And then he saw it. This thing went flying through the air, not at him, just across from one part of the attic to the other. It was about the size of a football. And it landed with a big thud. And it jumped again, thump, thump. And I looked, tried to catch it with a flashlight. He shined that flashlight right at it, and he saw rabbit. A regular rabbit. No monster at all. He said, "Oh, hello there, little friend. Are you lost?" And the rabbit looked at him, squinched its little nose, wiggled its whiskers, hopped toward Ollie. Thump, thump, thump. Ollie pointed the flashlight up so it wouldn't blind the rabbit. The rabbit looked at him. A lot of animals are afraid of humans, but animals tend to like Ollie pretty well, I guess because he's an animal too. Ollie tentatively reached out. The rabbit shrunk back a little bit, but let Ollie pick him up. Ollie picked the rabbit up, and he carried it down the stairs. And it seemed to warm up to him. It seemed to not be bothered by this. It may even be a household rabbit, like a pet rabbit. So he went out to the front porch. He said, "I've got good news, Judith." She said, where'd you find a rabbit?" Said the rabbit was your monster. "Do you guys have a pet rabbit?" I said, "No, we don't." "Oh, but remember Jimmy from down the street? He has a rabbit, and he said his rabbit went missing. Somehow his rabbit got up into your house, up into your attic." "Well, you better call Jimmy, because I don't want the rabbit to run away. But it seems pretty tame. So if you want to get a hold of that person, I'll hang out until we get this rabbit back to its home." So about 45 minutes later, Jimmy had come home. Jimmy left work to come home and retrieve his rabbit. He showed up and said, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'd worried about you, Bruiser." I said, "Bruiser?" He said, "Yeah, he's such a big rabbit. Oh, it sounds like a monster when he goes stomping down the hallway, but it's just, as I call him, Bruiser." And everyone gave kind of an amused look at each other. And that was the story of Ollie and the attic monster.